Fortunately for our listeners today, most consumers happen to also have bank accounts, and for our first segment, use credit cards to pay for their Starbucks lattes and trips to the grocery store. You've got some useful insights, as I understand it, regarding credit cards. So first, what do consumers need to know about this? What's going on in the credit card industry and all that good stuff?
So generally what's going on in the credit card industry, I'm actually going to refer you back to a show that we did earlier in January. I think it was the first show of the year where we talked about electronic transactions. But more specifically for consumers, there are some kind of tricks to credit cards that you should know about.
Because I just got pre-approved.
Oh my god!
And I feel really good about myself.
Oh my gosh, those things are, you get those mailers in the mail, and they're like, "Congratulations, you've been pre-approved for
me
$25,000," and you're like, I only make like $40,000, but that seems reasonable. I should totally have a $20,000 credit limit. Of course, that's obviously based on your credit score from before. But credit card debt is nothing to mess around with. I think a lot of people don't realize that the average interest rate on credit cards is 15.18% for the last quarter. That's the average, so that means there's some people with a lot higher.
You got it.
Yeah, and we'll see too, talking about some of these, these retailer-focused store brand cards, the interest rates are even higher than that. They're even higher than the 15%, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
a lot of the times those are in the 20s and 30s. And that's actually something that consumers should watch out for. When you're offered something like a store credit card, a lot of the times they're like, you get 30% off on your first big shopping thing, and sometimes we'll send you points. But a lot of people carry credit card debt, and with the interest rates being as high as they are on those cards, it's not the best idea.
Even every time I check out on Amazon.com, which is surprisingly frequent nowadays, because they pitched me that Amazon card, and they're like, you get $30 off this purchase. I'm like, I take out another credit card just for $30 off? Like, what's the... Anyway. So backing it up a little bit, Gabby, what are the average number of credit cards that the average American has outstanding?
So the average number of active credit cards a consumer has for bank cards, which is like the ones that are branded Visa, MasterCard, those guys, that's 2.24 per person. And for store cards, which are like the Target Red card or like that Amazon card, it's 1.55 per person.
Unbelievable. Okay, so Vince, you were doing some research before we came in on the massive amounts of money that stores make off these credit cards. I get pitched a card every stinking time I leave the house, it seems. Why are they doing this?
All right, so I kind of look at it like this. So in the past, you had other ways of doing loyalty programs where it was like points or things like that. And now with Amazon, for example, you have Prime, and they've already espoused the benefits that they've seen from that in terms of Prime members spending more money, things along those lines. Well, I think in the idea, the ultimate idea behind some of these cards is to build that loyalty where it's like you get perks, be it points or a discount per purchase. People who have these store brand cards will go to whatever retail they have it with and shop more often. And the thing is, a lot of these bigger retailers, the ones I want to talk about, like Target and Macy's, make quite a bit of money from this. So even though both of these companies have agreements with actual banks like Citibank, TD Bank, to manage, and they actually own these accounts, they have, the retailers themselves actually have to help with things like promoting and other more administrative stuff, but they get tons of money. So Macy's in 2014, for example, generated over $750 million in reduction to their SG&A, which is how they record it in their financial statements, from these like affiliate fees that they receive. And the same thing with Target, where they have been able to enjoy like really good penetration with their Red card. So I think it's like some 20% of their purchases.
They were almost violent at one point promoting that thing, by the way.
Yeah, every single time you go to the checkout line, if you don't have one already, they will mention it to you. And again, the same situation for them. They're making hundreds of millions of dollars in these agreements, and they're not even managing, the main accounts under these cards. So it's very profitable for them. It has the side effect of the building that brand loyalty, having shoppers coming back because they get those discounts or whatever, and it's very powerful.
Yep. So Gabby, I actually knew a guy who he was like irrationally loyal to General Motors. He like, oh yeah, I got this GM credit card, and they're giving me points towards buying a new truck. I'm like, I went to college with them anyway. it's literally endless. Like Macy's only gives you coupons if you use the credit card. Like it's just nuts. So what's going on in the private label credit card industry today? Who issues them? Who's actually putting up the money? Is this a good business for the financial institutions still? Because obviously it's great for the
So-
retailers.
Right. Well, let's back up a little bit for our listeners. Private label credit cards are credit cards that are branded as whatever store they're from. So it would be like the
The
Amazon
Macy's
card,
or yeah.
the Macy's card. So it's not affiliated with like a Visa or MasterCard. And typically with these cards, there's like a couple different types, but the one that I think you're talking about is the retail card, which is they can really only use it with that
Right.
merchant.
Right.
They can't use it anywhere else. They do have some that are called dual cards, which you can use at a merchant and then the specific merchant that it's been issued for, and then other places, and it works as a regular credit card there. But the main provider of these private label credit cards is a company called Synchrony Financial, which funny you mentioned GM because Synchrony Financial got spun off of GE.
Oh wow, lots of generals.
Yep.
Yeah. What? So do they have like a monopoly? Like, do I want to go buy this stock?
I'm not going to tell you to go buy it
Okay.
because I can't give you direct financial advice.
You want to go to the water cooler later and tell me? Like,
They were very clear about that when I got onboarded. Eric Stadnick, our lawyer, was like, just don't. I
Yeah.
think that was the whole talk was just him going to don't, please, don't. But so they got spun off of GE. They're doing okay. The retail cards, the dual cards, that's a big part of their business. And they have deals with people like Chevron, Amazon, like really, really big names. I don't know really how long it's gonna
be good.
be good.
Yeah.
Well, do you
'Cause
think-
it seems like? Go ahead.
Oh, I think that it's interesting too because you have some people kind of changing the model a little bit with Starbucks, for example. I believe I'm not a part of their their payment app, but that's all prepaid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand that it's kind of different, smaller size purchases. You're not buying like an appliance, for example, through this kind of system. But for some of these retailers, maybe they kind of convert to this system where it's much more interactive, mobile based.
Yeah. And then one of the benefits of that of each retailer having their own like method is that they get a lot more data on people.
Yes.
Because I'm sure like the bank partners with them and provides them with some data, but like having their own set of data on those people, that's huge.
Dun, dun.
And they've also done a study showing that those loyalty programs that are easy to access on your phone are also a major benefit for those retailers.
Probably just in terms of the adoption rate as well.
Exactly. That's actually what like Walmart and their little consortium of friends with their mobile app that's supposed to compete with Apple Pay are trying to do. But that's not quite rolled out yet. So we'll see how that ends up for them.
Yeah. Cool.